So I really appreciate that. And it really does kind of lend perfectly for what you do with your own business, because as you mentioned, you have your own business, you help women kind of move abroad and kind of thrive in their new country. So could you tell us a little bit about your business and what it is exactly that that it involves?
Yeah. So I'm a business strategist. I've been a business strategist for the past 8 years, working with startups, with small business owners, micro business owners, family businesses, things like that. My business that I do now is, I love it. I love it so much. I really help women of color led ventures. I help them to get from ideation to launch. And I specifically help women now, I guess in this climate, this kind of opportunity that has grown up for me. I help women to really just leverage their talents and their expertise to really create viable and sustainable online businesses so that they can pursue a life well lived abroad. And I really decided to do that because a lot of people ask me, like, how do you live abroad? Like, what do you mean? Like, how do you make that happen? And I told them all the ways that I've gone abroad. I was a teacher, and that was interesting, and I had a stipend. And then I worked remotely, and I was a salaried employee. And then I decided I really like working for myself. I like working for myself. I've done it before in the past, and I like working for myself for so many reasons. One, it makes me professionally fulfilled. And that's something that I think a lot of women are seeking in their move abroad. A lot of women, a lot of Black women have worked their butt off to get these degrees and letters and things like that. And part of the problem about moving abroad is that they're like, I did all this work and now I'm supposed to leave it behind and teach English. And now everybody wants to teach English, right? like I don't know if I want to do that. Or like, how am I going to explain to my mom and my dad that I got these masters and yeah, I'm going to move abroad, and then when they ask me what I'm going to do, and then they're like, I don't know. That's a problem. That's an obstacle, right? And especially if you love what you do, you just don't want to be in a certain place and do it. That's really important. That's something I found, that I wanted to do something I was professionally fulfilled doing, period. I like working with people, and I want to continue doing that. But also, I wanted to be financially abundant, period. And I'm not ashamed of saying that. I want to be financially abundant, period. That's just what it needed to be. Financially abundant means so many different things to so many different people. But for me, living in Spain, Spain has a weak economy. Trying to come here and work in Spain, why? What? I mean, outside of being an English teacher, why? No. The average monthly salary for, the average Spanish person is 900 euros a month. Are y'all doing that? No, you're not. You're not going to do that because, this average Spanish person is not paying rent. They're living in a house that is a family house. Their great auntie died. They have a house, their mama, daddy, whatever. They're not paying rent at all. Okay? They know all the local things, so they're not paying any kind of expat, convenience, imported, whatever, taxes, things. Like, that's a different lifestyle. Especially if you don't have to pay rent or mortgage, like that's a lot. So I knew that I wanted to live outside of the Spanish economy. And I think a lot of people, when they think about it and they do their research, probably feels the same way. I mean, unless you are getting transferred by a multinational company, there are some here in Barcelona, or a prestigious international school where they pay for your accommodation, all these other things, you probably want to work outside of the local economy. And working outside the local economy allows you to be financially abundant. And so I help these women to leverage their expertise, leverage their talents into these viable businesses, which could be freelance or consultant, so that they can pursue this life abroad. Because I believe for probably everyone, but specifically for Black women, and maybe more specifically for Black American women, living abroad is a gateway to wellness. It is a practice in wellness. Living abroad allows you to kind of just take off for a moment the burdens of being a Black American woman in America. And in some places in the world, really enjoy being American, because people are like, oh, you're American. It's amazing. You're like, is this what privilege feels like? Fantastic. You know, it's a gateway to wellness, to explore opportunities that may have been denied to you that do affect your professional wellness, your financial wellness, and your emotional wellness. And so that is my business. I'm very passionate about it because I believe that you should be able to work in the fields and in the services that you want to work and to thrive, period. And I know, especially Black women, Black American women, we are highly educated. We are highly entrepreneurial. Do not let the fear of the unknown scare you. Are you joking? We make something out of nothing all the time with glitter, razzle dazzled. It is amazing. And everyone's just like, how did you do it? And you're like, this is what I do. This is what I do. I make it look easy, but it's not. And I'm just saying, take that and use it to pursue a life abroad, to explore what you want to explore, to do the things that you want to do. That is what I do with my clients. I have a signature program that's a 12-week sprint. It is what it is. It's a 12-week intense consulting in which I help my clients get from ideation to strategy to launch. It's something that I've used for the past 8 years for my clients and for myself. I used it to launch my podcast, Flourish in the Foreign, which I just launched in May. I had no podcasting experience at all. I didn't know what I was doing. I listened to podcasts and was like, oh, okay. I didn't even know there were other platforms for podcasts besides Apple Podcasts. Like that's how newbie I was. But I know my framework and I know I'm a strategist. I figure it out. That's my thing. I figure things out, I execute. And I did that. I launched my podcast May 11th. Now here, August 11th, I think. It has over 2,000 downloads, over 25-star reviews, not just ratings. People wrote things down, nice things too. You could all check that out. And it has opened up so many doors for me professionally. I have a crazy amount of new contacts because my podcast is all about elevating and affirming the voices and the stories of Black women living and thriving abroad. That includes Black women from across the diaspora living all over the world. These women are doing the damn thing, period. So the thing is that I'm walking that talk. I know what I'm talking about, not only from my personal experience and working with my clients and doing my own business, but seeing women move to Albania, no joke, and moving to Singapore and to Hong Kong and Afghanistan and Bangladesh and Argentina and to the Netherlands and all around the world and thrive. I know it's possible, and I just want us to do that. I want us to take these just amazing gifts and this amazing education and not be striving for something that maybe we don't want and trying to create a life that doesn't fit us for some people that don't appreciate it, and to create something for us on our own terms, right? To really fund the life that we want to have. And that's why I do what I do.
I absolutely love that. I love that. And I think a lot of other people listening are going to love that too. So, for those listening, you said you have a podcast and I know you have a website. If they want to tune into that, if they want to reach out to you, what would be the best way for them to contact you?
Yeah, so listen to the podcast, Flourish in the Foreign, across all major podcasting platforms, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, things like that. Check out the website, flourishintheforeign.com. I have the episodes there, but I also have a really cool interactive map that I created. And Lord knows how I created it. It was during the sprint that I created it because I was like, I'm not techie. I'm not. And I was just like, goodness. But I created this cool map that actually is a map of the world, and it has a pin in all the episodes that I've had so far. So if you're looking for a certain country, you can kind of click on it and you can see the stories that are there. Right now, that only has 14 pins, but I actually have enough stories in my backlog to go into well within 2021. So if you don't see your country that you're interested in now, know that it's coming. So you can go ahead and subscribe to the podcast because it's coming. Because I have been interviewing women since March. Oh my goodness, I just interviewed a woman who's in Japan. She's an architect. She is from Jamaica. She didn't know how to speak Japanese. Learn Japanese enough to go to grad school in Japan and get hired in a Japanese architectural firm, working languages Japanese, and she's doing it. Like, these are real deal stories. You want some inspiration, you want some practical tips about how to get it done, you want to know about the real deal struggles and triumphs, this is the podcast for sure.